Hello everyone, for today's video, our topic is about the types of speech context. So what is a speech context? It is about the environment where the communication happens and how the message is relayed during the process. So we can just only identify what kind of speech it is depending on the environment or the setting and the content of the message. Now, here we have the types of speech context. First is the intrapersonal communication. So, interpersonal communication means communicating with oneself, yourself only. This can be seen in a situation where one is talking, writing, and thinking to oneself. Talking to oneself means memorizing a monologue or uttering about something or singing a song while looking in the mirror. It also includes writing a diary, poetry, or anything that would like to keep from oneself. Also, thinking about the future plans. You're still communicating with yourself. Also, the daydreaming and the meditating. So again, all of those examples belongs to interpersonal communication, and interpersonal communication means communicating with oneself. Again, you are just only communicating with yourself. Next, interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication involves more than one person in communication. So it is more than two na ang nag-communicate. And there are also other types of interpersonal communication, and there are six. First is the dyadic communication. Next is the small group communication, public communication, mass communication, organizational communication, and the last one is the intercultural communication. Now let's start first with the dyadic communication. It refers to interaction between two persons. So duha na siya, one speaker and one listener exchanging ideas, thoughts, information, and opinions. So both of their roles are interchangeable and not fixed. So we have two types of dyadic communication. First is the informal dyadic communication, which means is that you're just having a casual talk with your friends or your family, while formal dyadic communication refers to interview and dialogue. Again, dyadic communication, interaction between two persons. Now, let's proceed with the small group discussion. So, this refers to study a certain issue and come up with a solution or a plan to it that requires 3 to 15 people. So, pag 3 to 15 na siya, that belongs to small group communication. If duha lang, two persons, that belongs to dyadic communication. So this is not just a casual gathering because it has an agenda, a leader, and an outcome that need to be accomplished. So everyone can be a speaker and can give their suggestions or opinions. So study groups are those who look for a certain problem but not necessarily to come up with a solution, while task-oriented groups are who study an issue and should come up a plan to resolve the problem. So again, small group communication, 3 to 15 people discussing a certain issue or topic. They can also share their opinions or ideas with each other. So there is no one speaker only, but all are able and allowed to express their opinions or perceptions or ideas. Next, let's proceed to the public communication. So this refers to one speaker and an audience. So speaker delivers a message to many listeners. So the speaker and the listeners' roles are not interchangeable, just like dyadic communication. So public communications are formal. The speech is well prepared, the speaker is dressed properly, and there are listeners that are set to listen. This can be happened when a politician is making public speeches that encourages the people to vote for them. Okay, for example of public communication, SONA or inaugural speech, or even welcome speech. So in public communication, there's only one speaker and the audience is just only the listener. Mom, what's the difference between the small group communication and the public communication? In small group communication, everyone is allowed to speak and to express their opinions, while in public communication, there is only one speaker and the rest are audience. Okay, next, mass communication. Mass communication refers to the use of channels such as television, radio, social media to communicate to a larger audience. Since most people uses it, this can be happened through commercial advertising, public relation, and even news. Again, in mass communication refers to the use of channel to spread messages or news. What are those channels? It could be television, radio, or social media. Next, organizational communication refers to the interaction between the members within an organization. So, sa sulod lang sa organization. So, the flow of communication could be either formal or informal. So, informal organizational communication, it uses the proper channels to communicate, like memos, announcements, reports are passed along to the members of the organization following the chain of command. An example is a memo on salary increase issued by the company president, sent to the vice president, then passed to the managers and handed to the supervisors before reaching the employees. So that is what we call the chain of command. There are processes pa before it reaches to the employees or the receiver. Whilst the informal version is way faster than the formal. For example, is a memo on a salary increase will probably reach the employees faster because the secretary who typed the memo told the manager who told the employees faster because the secretary who typed the memo told the employees faster, supervisor, and then the supervisor shared it with the co-workers. So, the process is not so long. Dili kaayo siya taas. That's why it is easier and faster. So both types are important and necessary for an organization to survive. Just always remember that in organizational communication, it is between the members within an organization only. So bawal ang dili members sa organization. Okay. Next is the last one, the intercultural communication. So it refers to the interaction between and among people of different nationalities and ways of life, exchanging of concepts, traditions, values, and practices. So, for example, a discussion to exchange views about Korea and Philippine cultures will show the similarities and differences between the two countries. So, in intercultural communication, they accept differences or diversities no matter what is your culture, your background, or where are you from. So, that is intercultural communication. So, let's review. Dyadic communication, interaction between two persons. Interpersonal communication is one person only. Next, small group communication, 3 to 15 people discussing a certain issue or topic. So they are also allowed to express their opinions and ideas. Next, public communication refers to one speaker and an audience only. Again, one speaker, the rest are audience. Next, mass communication, it refers to the use of channel. What are those channel? Television, radio, and social media. Next, the fifth one, organizational communication. It is only between the members within an organization. And the last one is the intercultural communication, people of different nationalities and ways of life. And that will be all. Thank you so much for listening.